Hello and welcome along to Mondo Chelloveck Movies. My name is John, and this video is going to be an unboxing of the Bruce Lee box set. Now, take a look at that. I'm not particularly liking that. Now, funny enough, I got a comment from Roy Galloway, and he said that Fanatical Dragon, or The Fanatical Dragon, I'll leave a link down to his channel down below, amazing channel. If you want to know everything about martial arts, that's your go-to channel. And he said that he had some damage on his. Now, I haven't looked at any of the unboxings at all for this set because I didn't want to see anything about it. I want to be sort of wowed by itself. Now, I've heard that the packaging for this is meant to be the greatest of packaging. This weighs a ton, I've got to say. And he said that Fanatical Dragon had a couple of dents on it. Now, I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, it's one of them things where you should have said to the driver, although I wasn't in yesterday, I was at work. You could have said to the driver, hang on a minute, let me just look at this and see if this is any good. And if it's not, you can take it back and have a new one. Like that's going to happen. So anyway, I'll get into this and I'll see what this has done to the box set, if anything. Fingers crossed, you shouldn't have to do that. This is a big money. Actually, this is the most expensive box set I've ever bought. And yeah, the rest of it looks okay, but not too pleased about that. So let's see what we've got. Nurse, scalpel, thank you. I'm looking at that now, and this bit here, you can see the box set there. It's actually not padded on this side of the box set. So I've got a little bit of a bad feeling about this. Oh, oh well, wow. So if you can see that, there it is, and there's only one bit, and thankfully it's on that bit. So this is a huge fingers crossed. I mean, you shouldn't have to do that, should you? So anyway, I have been waiting so long for it. Well, I haven't been waiting long. It's actually come across quite quickly. But what a wait this is. So I'll show you the package, and then we'll see how if there's any damage on it. At this corner test. That passes. All right, there's the depths. She she could have given us the nurse scalpel. At this point, that's the only thing I can see. If you can see that. It's minimal. Just scrutinizing this, Deborah. Scrutinizing it.
The worker's going to
The workers going to work. Actually, the workers just come back from work, I think they're fine. Do you want to say hello to everybody? Okay. Remember, you're going to do that shared video with me about the ranking of the stuff, honestly. Okay. Right. See you then. Right. Well, at this point, I'm going to say minimal damage, if anything. I think it's got a slight one there, and I'm talking slight. Yeah. And there's that one there, which is literally it's kind of nothing. I'm sure I can just push that one back. Shouldn't be doing that. To be honest, look at this, right? That's the packing for this. That is a bit of a travesty, to say the least. But anyway, what I'm going to do with this now is I'm going to open it up now. I'm going to show you what's inside. You've probably seen 100 unboxings of this, but I just want you to see my reaction towards this. There's tons of stuff on the back here, which I can't read out far too much. But this is going to be my initial reaction to the actual package and just see what you get in here. And then I will come back and I will show you, probably on this video somewhere, I will do maybe some screenshots because I'm going to go through this box set today. And I'm at work, obviously, I've got a busy week this week. But through this week, I'm going to try and get some more information about this and more thoughts on some of the cuts and the different sort of like picture qualities. That's what my aim is, to get something a bit more than just an unboxing. So let's see if I can do this. Now, the way that I do this is to cut into a certain part here, and that'll open up the box set, but keep the shrink wrap on. I don't think I can do that with this set. And there's no way on earth I'm going to try if I think there's any way I'm going to damage this. So what I'll do is I will take the HGR stickers on the outside. I will take the shrink wrap off, a rare taking off of the shrink wrap, and I will have it without a shrink. There's no way I'm going to chance this. The thing is about this microphone, I keep saying it, you can't. I like when shrink wrap comes off. I like it on a video, but you'll not be able to hear it on here, which is a shame. I don't know why it does that, but yeah. So as you can see, this is the store exclusive version of this set because there's the yellow version. So I think that the pattern is here is different to the other set. There's no way on earth I would buy them both, but it'd be nice to think that to have them both. There's no way I'll do that. So you've got this, trying to see how this one comes to bits. Yeah, actually, you've got a J card or a J box here, and you've got some info. This artwork in here is absolutely, I mean, I'm showing you it, but I'm not talking about what I think about it. The packing in here is absolutely incredible. Now, this is quite a tall box set, and I'm hoping that this will go on the bottom shelf with me other stuffs. It might not, it might not do that. We shall see. Am I going to keep the slip box on? I will for the moment. So that comes off there. Got some amazing art in here. I think there's so many iconic images you can get from Bruce Lee. There's a multitude to pick off. Every side is covered. Lovely hard box. So there's the insides of the box. I think the book is going to be the thing where everything is heavy. It's got a package there as well. I haven't looked at any unboxings. I've just really seen the one that was on Arrow, the site, but I didn't take too much notice of that because I just wanted to see these things for themselves. So first up is the Big Boss. Iconic, iconic. Uh, that there. I will get it in 4K. I think it'll look stunning because of the way it was shot with the cameras are used. So you've got the Big Boss there with, I would imagine, the original art. And there's so much stuff on here, limited editions, and I'll just put it up the screen. I'll not at this point go into what all of this is about. Second is the Big Boss, the Mandarin cut. For decades, the Big Boss has only been available on home video in a version 10 minutes shorter than the one that's first stunned audiences in Hong Kong way back in 1971. Now, at long last, the missing material has been reintegrated into the film, scanned from the last known surviving 35mm print of the original theatrical version. You've never seen the Big Boss like this before, man. Honestly. Actually, there's some artwork in here. I've never seen that artwork before. That's great. So that's the two versions of the Big Boss. Next up is Fist of Fury. Now, what I've done in my previous rankings of the ranking of the Bruce Lee movies, I've told you where I think they are in this when I rank them. But I'm going to go back and rewatch them with the Deads, hopefully, because you haven't seen the Big Boss before or Game of Death. Now that picture there is from, I'm sure, unused material or promo pictures that he took round about the time of that. I don't think that was ever in the movie. If I can remember, you see him like that. But it's a great picture. So that's Fist of Fury. Next is, at this point, my favorite Bruce Lee movie, The Way of the Dragon. Look at that. Never seen that before, but I like that. What a movie. There's the stuff there. I could imagine you were going to spend hours and hours and hours. I wonder if it's got like an actual running time for everything on this box. I would imagine it would be days to actually watch the full of everything, commentaries and everything. Amazing. Way of the Dragon. Next up is that's quite a good looking touch. Now this is Enter the Dragon. As you know, this is the only one in Blu-ray, and it's the 40th anniversary Blu-ray there. Now I don't own that one. I used to own it, but I don't own it anymore. No, I do own it actually on the medium rare um, box set. So I have got that one. But the way they've done this, actually, the covers are different. Well, different on this one that is in the other ones. It does stand out a little bit. Love that. That artwork there is spectacular. I think that was one of the first things that I ever saw with Bruce Lee on it, and everyone remembers that with nunchuckers being outlawed, they put a bow staff in there, and it was like a bit of wood, which was like ridiculous, but never mind. That's what happened. So that's Enter the Dragon. Next up is Game of Death. I love this film. I mean, that kick there is the first time I think I ever saw Bruce Lee do anything. It was either a picture or a very short clip. Wow. This has got inner art, this one actually. I'll take that out so you can see. I like that these are in these sort of like individual card covers, but they have got this inside because that way they don't fall out or get scratched when you take them out if they're like slotting it and sliding in. Great cover. So interested to see different cuts of this. I do know that when there was a version, yes, the original medium rare versions of Game of Death had a couple of cuts on maybe, but they were they were supposed to be in high definition, but they were a little bit down from the other ones. Then I got the one from Shout Select, and that had three cuts on, and that was much better quality. Now I'm hoping that this one, well, it's obviously it's going to top the lot of them. So that's Game of Death. Next up is Game of Death alternative versions. For the 1978 release of Game of Death, a very different version of the film was prepared for Cantonese and Mandarin speaking audiences in Asia, which included the breathtaking greenhouse fight, great fight. That's not got Bruce in it, by the way, that's the impersonator. With Warriors 2's Casanova Wong, directed and choreographed by Sammo Hung, among many other changes. Now for the very first time, wow, in the UK home video, this version of the film has been made available, complete with two alternative viewing options and hours of archive interviews with Lee's former co-stars, colleagues, and friends. I am so looking forward to this one. In fact, I'm looking forward to it all. It's one of those ones where it's just like you're not going to get it and think, oh, that's just same old, same old. This is spectacular. If you're a Bruce Lee fan, this is just amazing. The final game of death. No, what is this? When Bruce Lee died in 1973, he had been working on one more film, which he wrote and directed as well as starred in, A Game of Death. Only a third of the project was filmed before Lee's death, and much of the footage set in Golden Harvest, most of the footage sat in Golden Harvesters. Most of the footage sat in Golden Harvests. Wow, double wow. Vaults for years until being rediscovered, along with Lee's original script notes in the late 1990s. Lee's original storyline is very different from the 1978 film of the same name. Yeah, it was completely different. Here, a former champion fighter, Lee, is blackmailed by a Korean crime boss to fight his way up a remote pagoda in order to steal a priceless treasure from the top floor. To get up there, Lee has to contend with a different generation. Guardian, tell you I'm blind, on each floor, each time trained in the deadliest fighting arts known to man. Now, for the very first time, Arrow is thrilled to present all 2 hours of Lee's original footage. including the long presumed lost log fight between Dan Inosanto and Chen Yuan, with a new narration explaining Lee's original concept in detail, as well as the project's fascinating origins and tragic ending. This here is going to be, well, look at this picture. The artwork, man, what a poster that would make, or a t-shirt even. Because that's the yellow, that's in sort of like negative form. Unbelievable. This one is just, well, they all are, but wow. I'm going to watch them all in order. That's what I'm going to do, even though I'm tempted to go straight to that disc first. Speaking of which, next up is Game of Death 2. I love this film. Now, a lot of people that say, well, Bruce Lee's hardly in it, if anything. That's correct. He's not in it that much. But the movie itself, I can't go into anything, it would be massive spoilers. But the movie itself, it can get past that. Not sounds daft by saying a Bruce Lee movie with Bruce Lee in for about a minute. But think of watching this movie. It is a sequel, and you will get it by watching it without. I don't want to go into any spoilers or it'll spoil it for you what happens in it. But they do it in a good way. So this movie, I find it so entertaining. It's got everything you could want. It's got Bruce Lee clones in it, although it's not really a clone. And also, it's just such fun. It's got some great fights in it as well, especially the end fights, the end sort of sequence when he's fighting in a tower, but it's an upside down tower, so he's going down. As he's fighting, he's getting lower and lower. When 1978's Game of Death became a worldwide phenomenon, 5 years after the death of its star, Gordon Harvest set about devising the final star vehicle for Bruce Lee, using more rare footage found in the studio vaults. The result may be the wildest, weirdest, and most flat-out entertaining example of the Bruceploitation genre that thrived in the years since Lee's death. Game of Death 2. Can't wait to see this one. I've got the DVD. The DVD was pretty good. I've watched it recently, actually, but I will be sticking this on as well. I'll be interested to see how the Debs takes to Game of Death and Game of Death 2. She might think that's stretching it a little bit, and I can understand that if someone thinks that. But I'm a big fan of them too. So now you've got Bruce Lee, the man, the legend, and also the legend. These are two separate um, documentaries about Bruce Lee, and they're great. Especially Bruce Lee, the legend. It's one of my favorite. Well, it is my favorite Bruce Lee documentary. It's got so many great things in there. I would imagine everybody who was first introduced to Bruce Lee saw this cut version, of course, in the UK, and then probably got the uncut version as well because Bruce Lee was bootlegged, constantly because you could not get to see his stuff. So that's the only way you could get it. These are two, if you had asked me what was the best documentaries about him, it's definitely these ones. Great, they've got a separate disc as well, not just stuck on another disc. So that's Bruce Lee, the man, the legend, and also Bruce Lee, the legend. Next up is this booklet. This booklet is like a brick. Look at that. Less is more. I'm thinking about because Stripey Rambles, I'll leave a link down to his channel down below. He put a ranking of what he thought the best nunchucker scenes were the Bruce Lee films. This for me is my favorite Bruce Lee at this point. My favorite Bruce Lee nunchucker scene in that movie. Bruce Lee is one of these characters or people. Every photograph you see him is good. I don't think he takes any bad photographs. There's some massively iconic stuff, and there's the ones that you're always, aware of. And I don't know this too much, but wow, the amount of stuff in here is it's insane. Actually, you get posters, you get images, you get different alternative posters, you get, and the smell of it obviously is just outstanding. I think this could be the best ever book from uh, Arrow. I know before this it was going to be The House book, which is just in that special edition. Now it says here the early films of Bruce Lee. Now Bruce Lee made quite a few films before he actually got into martial arts films. He might have made about 20, believe it or not. So he's got a lot of movies, but these movies have got nothing to do with with kung fu, unfortunately. So he's got a wealth of movies, which I don't think you can get actually. You might be able to get one or two, but not what I would consider to be the ones that you would probably watch one or two for, just. But I'm interested to see what it says about them because I've never found out the definitive stuff about actually what they're all about. You know. Oh, now the next thing is the poster, double-sided. If I can get this in. Now, one thing in my house that's missing from my house is a Bruce Lee poster. I used to have a Bruce Lee poster, as I imagine most young kids did in the 70s and 80s, probably the 80s. That's a brilliant poster, that Way the Dragon one. I think I've been toying about putting these posters up and sort of change them around every sort of so often, but I do think that this one might actually see the light of day because I do think that Bruce Lee he's someone amazing to have on the wall actually as well. I think his posters always look good. Just keeps on coming and coming. Now you've got this. He certainly is. You've got this kind of envelope here. Now, I'm going to have to get in this without doing any damage to it. The interior of this is coming great. I mean, look at that as well. You've got this. Actually, you've got some art cards as well. But look at the interior of that box. If you can see it, a little bit of detail there. So you get things on that side, but on the front side of them, which I'll show you, is these things. Now, this is, for me, the most iconic image that I could possibly get in my nostalgia for Bruce Lee. These were the pre-cert, the big box pre-cert covers, and they were astounding. Now, madly enough, I did used to have these with the original medium were released, but I got rid of them because I got the box set. I thought, well, I don't need them too, but the box set didn't have the reversible art on it. It had these on, so I was gutted. But now I've got them back again. I would love to put these on the wall. And you do get stills from the movies there. That's when Bruce Lee first comes on the screen in The Big Boss, which is the same cover there, same picture, but you get that on the end of it. On the other side, should I say, with that on the side. I'm going to put these in order when I'm going to put them back in the box. Another Game of Death with, yes, yeah, bit of a size difference there. Another Game of Death, and Way of the Dragon. Look at that. Just so good. Behind the scenes are documentaries about this. These cards just keep on coming. Character there. He's such a rat. Next up is Fist of Fury. Let's kind of go in a reverse order this. Put his face on that one. Well, sure. He's a true Fist of Fury. Then, huh? Yeah. Everybody knows that scene. Actually, without spoilers, this bit here is crazy because he kicks this bloke, this actor, through this sort of wall up, like sort of like pain, kicks him through it. Now this bloke goes flying, and the bloke he actually kicks isn't the bloke that goes flying through the window and lands on the grass, and is sort of like has an amazing stunt. Guess who the stunt man is who did that? Of course it is. It's Jackie Chan. So he turns up a load of Bruce Lee films. Well, if you miss him, actually you would never know that was Jackie Chan, but So there's a bit of inside information for you. Now, the best thing about this is actually if you did take them out and sort of put them into a case, they would look stunning. You wouldn't actually miss them from the box set because you'd only take one of each. So what's that from? But yeah, that's James Tien on that one, not Bruce Lee. Well, one of the biggest, if not the biggest selling movie in China at the time, or in Asia. The most of his movies are. In fact, saying that, most of the movies have got an element of sort of tragedy in them. So that's the art cards. So here's some glossy photographs. You see, that's one of those behind the scenes photographs. That's not actually from a movie. I think when he was doing movies, he would sort of get dressed up in different looks, maybe for future projects. I haven't seen that one before. That's a good one. Yeah. He had this look about him as well. Unfortunately, on the cusp of attaining that, he passed away. It's so tragic that the tale of Bruce Lee, it really is. And when you first hear about Bruce Lee and they say, oh, he's great, what's he doing now? And say, well, he died. When he started, he died. And you think, wow, no, joking. You know, you think it's about somebody so fit. That's the other thing. He's probably one of the fittest blokes that's ever lived. Maybe he was a bit too fit, some people say. That looks like it's from Fist of Fury. So I'm going to say all of these around about the Fist of Fury time. That's Fist of Fury again. Really, they're sort of like so high quality. That's Fist of Fury again. Those are excellent. I haven't seen most of them in my next video, which I'll shoot probably today, which it won't be out at the same time. This one's going out today, the Tuesday, so I can't not put this out. So that's it, the Bruce Lee Golden Harvest box set unboxed. Expect another video very soon about what I think of the interiors in here. By that I mean the movies. I'll probably show some little of my screenshots when I just put the screenshot up that I took on my phone, but you'll get a sort of an idea what these are like. I've got every opinion that are going to be absolutely spectacular. So anyway, thanks for watching. You take care, and I will definitely see you on the next Bruce Lee video very soon. Cheers.